Hello everybody and welcome to another video. In this video it's going to be my Air Tycoon 4 series. Now yes, finally going back to it, since I haven't actually been uploading it for the last 2-3 weeks, but I was on holiday so I couldn't. So yes, last time I was setting up routes from St. Louis and Heathrow with the Fokker 70 and A321, so we got all those done, and that was a quite good episode that we did there. Had like 3 time lapses or something like that. What I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be setting up routes from Heathrow, again with the MD-11, because I did say last time that there was a bunch of places from Heathrow that I could go to with the MD-11, it's just that I didn't just have the amount of planes I could to actually set up the routes with them. So I tried recording this, and you know when you press the record button it doesn't exactly work? That's what just happened. So I start recording, I just about ordered the MD-11s, and then suddenly my camera turns off. So I've got those all ordered, so those are fine. And the place where I said I wanted to go to, I'll just have to count them: Monrovia, Dubai, Mumbai, Kuala Lumpur, Jakarta, Taipei, Hangzhou, Qingdao, I think, I don't know, Fukuoka, and there was 10, surely there was another place. Oh yeah, and Hanoi, I think that's pronounced, something like that. So yes, we're going to be going to these places. Hopefully that could be getting us some more money. In fact, what are these 2 places? What the fuck? Guam, that's 62, what's Saipan? 216, my god. I don't know, I was just looking at these islands because sometimes they can be quite a bit. Hang on, I think Fiji's like really high. 250, that is 10,000 miles though. Look at that! The easiest place to get to Fiji would be going right over the North Pole to get there. Those are the routes that I've done. I will have to fast forward not just 2 turds, but 3 turds, because we had to upgrade the airports last episode, and it takes 3 months to do that, so it's going to take a while. 547 million. Got a bit surprised with that, because the last time I played Air Tycoon 4, it's meant to be one of these airlines which, it was meant to be something like Ryanair, but not exactly the lowest prices. I was doing that, and then the highest profits I was getting was probably about 300 million or something like that, and then I just saw 500 million, I was like, oh my god! I was going to say JetBrit, and then that's what JetUS does. Our airline now. He says if we go down 456 million. We are in October, so we're not going to be getting that much profit compared to what we get in the summer and Christmas, which is not too far away actually. I've got those MD-11s delivered, so we'll just need one more turn, then we can set up the MD-11. Then hopefully this should take advantage of some of the Christmas traffic that we get, so I don't know how much it's going to do, but it should hopefully get some of it. And then it should definitely get all the summer traffic from June until August. Sorry, I just started doing it, then realised I hadn't actually said. Set up the MD-11 routes. I can do YouTubing, totally. Okay then, so I've got those routes all set up now. There was a couple of things that I changed my mind about where to actually go, because I found 2 places where I kind of thought that I should go rather than the places which I was going to go. The places I didn't go were to that Qingdao place and Jakarta, because I thought that they were too low in the satisfaction, tour, tour and business and stuff. So where did I actually go this time? I went from London to Monrovia, Dubai, Mumbai, Kuala Lumpur, Orlando, which I was surprised I didn't go to. That's one of them that I found. That's why I was over America. Let's see if I didn't put any there, and I found out I didn't go to Orlando. Hangzhou, Taipei, that Hanoi place. Then Cebu, this is a place in the southern Philippines which I found, and it had 311 tour, and I was thinking, holy Jesus, why am I not going here? So I went there, and then the Fukuoka in Japan. So those are the places which I've gone now. Now, what I wanted to do was firstly just do a general check of our prices and things like that. Europe, I'm going to keep it 3. I'm not going to change that at all. America is pretty high with 2, but I'm going to keep that. And there's still 4 in Oceania. Might bump that up to 5 because that's not really costing anything. Africa can stay the same, Asia can stay the same. South America, yeah, they can stay the same, I guess. Then we want the other one, which is the one with the satisfaction. Oh, it's at the full rate, so they shouldn't actually complain at me anymore. I remember the time when I didn't realise I could put up the employee rate. Yeah, that was a kind of failing of mine, but I mean, if you put up the employee rate, that means you get a lot more profits because there's a lot more people working there. But I'm going to be just keeping it as high as I can. Let's just have a general check of our profits and things like that. I mean, it's probably been going up and down like crazy. I mean, look at this. This is what happens. The reason why it does that is because, like, it's a gradual climb. You can see it's a gradual climb. The general trend of it is getting quite high. So, like, it's going up like... so it's kind of going up if you have a look at that. It's not exactly going up at a really fast rate, but the highest we've had, we just had last Christmas, look, so that's a quite good sign that we are going to be getting quite high profits this summer. We're probably might even be getting even higher profits. In fact, no, that was the summer. Now we're going to go into Christmas, so let's just actually have a look at how this is doing then. I'm probably not going to shoot up all the way, but should go up quite a high way. Still 23 million, that's not a highest profit, but that is pretty high. I will say so. Just have a look at what that is on our report in terms of passenger numbers. Oh!
All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces.
Well, my plans for doing the Fokker 70 possibly next episode have failed, thanks, that's gone out of production. Was it really in January?
Actually, according to Wikipedia, it says it was last one was delivered in April 1997. So that's wrong. How dare you, Trey Game Lab? Why'd you have to cut short the production line of one of my favourite planes?
I did not think it was in January. I thought it was something like March, or even later. I've got oil price shock, I don't care about that really. That's probably why we didn't get too high profits in that, I should think. We do have some spare Fokker 70s that we can set up routes with, 13. But that means that I can't do any more routes of that kind of nature until the Embraer E-Jets come out. And I'm not going to be doing the E170, which comes out 2004. E175 maybe. I'm thinking about doing the E190, that seems about the right capacity for it. I don't think I'm going to be doing the E195, but I will be using the Embraer E-Jets to use this. I just want to have a look at a few things because we are going to be going into the 21st century soon, and there's quite a few planes which I just want to have a look at, satisfaction-wise and stuff like that. How are 747s doing? They are doing okay. We put them in 1989, so they are completely fine. What I've thought about is I'm possibly going to be replacing these, quite a few of them actually, with the 777-300 when it comes out. I'm not going to be replacing all of them. I'm going to keep the ones on that I'm going to be replacing with the A380. What might happen is I'll replace one with the 777-300, and then suddenly there will be a huge upsurge in its popularity, and then I'll have to put an A380 on there at some point. I don't know, but there's definitely going to be a time, possibly basically when it just comes out, when I'm going to be replacing it. It will probably, in fact, I think I might have to hold it off because about the time it comes out, that's about when the MD-11 goes out of production, and I'm going to be replacing my MD-11s or 777s. Yeah, that's going to be a kind of a big job. In fact, it's going to be worse than the 747, because if you remember the 747s, I didn't have as many of them. And I had the MD-11s at that time. I didn't even have MD-11s at that time, I had DC-10s. But I have almost double the amount of MD-11s than I do the 747s. So that's going to be, it's not going to be as expensive as 747s are, but it's going to be a pretty hefty price. So I do not imagine that I'm going to be replacing all of them at once. We've got the A321s and stuff like that. They're going to be alright. I think the A321, I don't know whether I'm going to be replacing this with the MAX 9 when it comes out. It's just in terms of when it actually comes out, because I've actually been playing on another series, and the A321 is still in production. I'm in like 2023 or 2024, so I do not think that this is actually going to be, it's not going to go out of production when the A320 does, because the A320 just goes out of production just like a couple of years after, not even that, after the A320neo is introduced, which is not in fact true at all. Airbus and Boeing, they both have orders for the A320ceo and the 77NG. They have enough to go right into the 2020s, so and airlines are still ordering them to this day. I mean, the A320neo is just a new one, but not everyone's going to switch to it immediately. Airlines are already making plans for it, but they are still efficient. It's not as this game thinks it is. It's not going to be instantly going out of production. I'm sure the A320 could still be in production in 2030. I think that's a bit of a stretch, but I don't know. So in terms of the A321, this is probably going to be used pretty much until the end of our airline. As I said, I just want to see what the MAX 9 is like, because this seats 178 passengers, and I don't know what the MAX 9 does. The MAX 9 does a maximum of 215, I think, so I'd have to configure it and have at least 178 just to run it at the same profitability, because I'm thinking about possibly using the 737 MAX series instead of the A320neo, simply because Air Trade Game Lab haven't actually put in the rest of the A320neo series. If they'd done that, then I would be using A320neo, like A321neo definitely, and the A320neo I would be using. In terms of fleet commonality, because that's a really... fleet commonality will help you get profitable. If you're running, say, the A320neo and the 737-700 on routes, then it could be much more profitable if you change to either the 737-700 and 800 or the A319 and A320. In terms of that, I'm going to be using the 737 MAX series simply because that's the only one they had. But I thought that it was going to come out, like, the game only makes it come out in like 2018, 2019, which I think was probably the original release date for it, I don't know, but that's when it says it comes out. It comes up a lot later than you think. So that's not actually going to be replaced for quite a while yet. So I am going to be possibly, because I think the A320neo comes out a lot earlier. So 2018, 2019, and right now it's probably about 20 years before the MAX comes out. Oh no, because I've done the 737-800. I was going to say. Well, the MD-90s won't last that long because you're going to be putting the 737-800 in your pillow. That's going to be that with the A321. In terms of the other aircraft, but as I said, that's going to be A380s and 777-300s, MD-11, 777-200, MD-90, 777-800, A321, possibly the same, that'll be changed later. A330, I'm sitting on the edge at the moment whether to actually do the A330-900neo or the A350. It's going to be a pretty close thing. I am going to be replacing my 777-200s with the A350-1000, not the 900, because the 1000, in fact, because I originally replaced all of them. This is the trouble I had in Norwich Airways, and this is pretty much why I just gave up on Norwich Airways, because I replaced pretty much all of my 777s with the A350-900. Then I realised that it had much lower seating capacity than the 1000 did, and the 1000 was a lot closer, and I think it's only slightly higher, but still. So it's like, why didn't I replace it with the 1000? So then I had to try and replace all the 1000, and now I'm probably not even going to complete it because I'm coming right up to the end of the game. I'm thinking about it. I think, as I said, across that bridge when it comes to it, I think what will probably happen is I could do the A350 to replace the A330, because then it could be fleet commonality with the A350-900 and 1000. So that's probably what will happen, because there isn't like a A330-1000. That's probably what's going to be happening. That Concorde, I'm going to be retiring when it runs out. That's something which I've decided on now, because, in fact, I don't know. I don't want to have to keep a bunch of planes in my inventory. I don't want to have to keep 20 planes when Concorde runs out. So that's just going to be the thing that happens with that. Unfortunately, that's what's going to be happening. I know that Concorde is my favourite plane, but in terms of the airline, we do need to keep up efficiency. I mean, look at its efficiency. It's 4.2. This plane came out in the 1970s. 1976 it came out. So I'm going to be having to retire this. Basically, I'm going to be keeping it until it runs out of its lifespan. When they run out of their lifespan, I will just get rid of them and close the routes. I was thinking about possibly replacing it with some replacing it with lower capacity aircraft. I mean, what's the lowest capacity? The 777-200 or in fact no, the 767, but that's really inefficient by the time the Concorde goes, I have to retire it. So we've got the Concorde there, and the Focus MD, as I said, going to be replaced with the going to be replaced with the Embraer E-Jet. Someone actually asked me why I didn't actually have cargo in my airline, because I could help run profitable services. I'm not going to be doing cargo. As I said at the start of the series, and which I've kept up, is the fact that if you're going to do cargo, you should probably do a whole cargo airline, because you can't renovate the planes, which is really annoying, so you can't get up the satisfaction. You have to run them, as I found out when I tried to do a proper cargo airline. You have to run services based on the business, which actually makes sense. For some reason I did it on the tour, but no, you do it on the business, and that's how you do your routes. And I actually found that out because I had a plane going to Luxembourg, and then it was, I think it's a DC-870F, and I was thinking, why is this so full? And then the route going to, I don't know, Las Vegas, which is really high tour, why is that one losing so much money and this one making so much money? Oh, it must be the business. Well, I give up on this airline then, because there hasn't been so much change to do that. I'm not going to be doing cargo in this airline at all. I just want to focus on the passenger stuff. You can request all routes. I want to kind of this episode out, but I don't want to have two time lapses because it does actually put a strain on how I record, and I have to record another one here. Next episode, what we can do is, I was just having a look around, and it seems like that there is a bunch of places in Europe which I've still not gone to yet, and a lot of them seem to be AC-21 capacity. We've got Prague, Shenzhen, what about Gothenburg? Yeah, it's just about AC-20. Even Gothenburg, just about. Gdansk, yeah. Klaipėda, oh no, that's MD-90. Bratislava, I love that name. Vienna, oh yeah, look at Vienna. So, I think we're going to be doing AC-21's next episode, but there is some place for other aircraft routes to be set up in Europe, because we haven't really expanded our European operations since we did it with the 757 back in the 80s, and in the Fokker 70 last episode, so, and the MD-90s as well back then it was 77-300, but still. That's what's going to be happening. With that, for now, that'll be the end of this video here. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, if you touch that one as well. Need a sneeze. Come on. You know that feeling when you're about to sneeze and then it just goes? Why? Anyway, goodbye.